Hi, this is Catherine. I'm one of the sewing educators here at Sew Right Sewing Machines, and I wanted to thank you for coming to the Tamarack Jacket lecture demo. And I wanted to give everyone who is signed up to do the fit class for the Tamarack Jacket a little bit of a presentation so that you understand what's going to happen in that class. The goal of the fit class is to figure out what's going to be the correct size for you to make your jacket in, and then you're going to cut that pattern out and make a sample in like a muslin fabric so that we can actually try it on you that day of class to see if everything that we did gives you the correct fit that you want for your jacket. So here are the decisions that I need for you to make about your jacket before you come to the fit class. One of the questions is, will you be quilting the jacket through all of the layers and doing all of the binding as this sample? Or will you be making the jacket so that it has more of a lining on the inside and just the binding on the neckline and the center front? Or do you plan on trying to make the jacket more reversible where there's absolutely no binding on it and the lining is completely separate? That's the first decision that I need you to make. So we gave you this worksheet that day, and this is going to help you decide how you want to plan out your jacket. And one of the things that I have a question about, of course, is how you're going to quilt your jacket and whether it's going to be a lighter weight layer or a heavier weight layer. And the important thing is what you're going to be wearing underneath the jacket. So for example, if you plan on wearing a sweater underneath the jacket because you want it more as an outerwear piece, I would like you to bring that sweater in. The same goes for if you decide you only want to wear a t-shirt under the jacket because you want it as a lighter weight jacket, I would like you to bring that t-shirt in. This is going to help us find the right size because anything that you wear on your body is going to add measurement to your body measurements. So we want to make sure the fit of the jacket is going to work for how you want to wear it. Do you plan on making any changes to the style of the jacket in terms of length, making it longer or shorter, or the same even in the sleeve length? What type of pocket you want to do, a welt pocket or the patch pocket? If you plan on making it reversible, as we discussed before, how are you going to quilt the layers? I don't need the exact quilt design that you're going to do. You can save that for Lori's engineering class. I just need an idea if you're going to line it or if you're going to quilt the jacket altogether. And of course the binding, what kind of closure, and if you're going on to doing any of the extras like the hood or the collar. The next decision that you'll want to make is whether you're going to trace your pattern out onto either a different type of pattern paper or if you're going to trace it out on pattern ease, which we sell in the store. The pattern ease can be used to not only trace the pattern onto, but you can also stitch this up and use it as your fit muslin for that day. So you won't need to bring any extra fabric. If you're an absolute beginner, you can cut the tissue paper. This is not actually the pattern, but you can cut the tissue paper as is and use this because that might be enough that you're going to learn how to do that day. Finding your size, cutting out the tissue paper, and then cutting it into a muslin or a cotton fabric that you're going to sew up the sample in that you're going to try on that day. So that is also a possibility. You don't necessarily need to do the pattern ease if you don't want to. But if you're making any major changes to the garment, like lengthening it or shortening it, I would recommend tracing it out onto either the pattern ease or pattern paper. So once you have your pattern traced either onto the fabric or onto the pattern ease, we're going to be cutting it in fabric. If you don't want to use your pattern ease, that's okay. You can still cut it in another fabric, but you can also stitch this together as well and use it as your fitting. What I recommend is cotton muslin, which is an unbleached cotton. This is the best thing to do for a fitting, but if you have fabric at home, here's what I recommend. You can pick a regular cotton print. It's okay if it's a subtle print. This is what I don't want, okay? Because I can't see the fit on something like this. So anything that's really very, I don't know what's the word for this, but has a lot going on, you don't want to use this for your muslin. So this is what I would not recommend that you use. Okay, so I know that your next question is going to be, what do I need to do before class? The only thing I would say is go over the list. We're going to be emailing you this list along with this video of the things that you need to bring to class. Obviously, the pattern is one of them. If you don't have a pattern, please let us know so that we can order you a pattern. If you have the pattern at home, you can take out your tissue paper and you can press it out. You would do that on an iron that has a low setting, no steam, just to press it flat, because these things are usually, as this one is, fairly wrinkled up. And then you can just take it, roll it. If you have like a gift wrap roll or something, you can roll it over that and bring it to class like that. If you don't want to do that at home, that's okay. You can do that with me. If you're tracing out your pattern, things that I would say you need to bring would be a 2x18 ruler. You need a pattern tracing wheel, one with a serrated edge. We have one here. This one has a little bit more of a serrated edge. And then if you want to use carbon paper, you can also use pencil. Pencil is okay with me. That's what I usually use. If you have a design styling ruler like this at home, you can bring that in if we're going to be changing anything with shape of the jacket. So that would be great. If you don't have this, you can always purchase this on the day of the class if you need it, and you may not necessarily need it. Those are all the things that I would want for the tracing. And of course, you're going to need to bring, if you're tracing, your pattern ease. If you're cutting it out, if you're using the tissue paper and you're cutting it out in a fabric, you're going to need a cotton muslin or another cotton fabric that has either a solid or a subtle print is what I would recommend. And as well as basic sewing notions like pins, tape measure, because we're going to need to take body measurements, and seam ripper, things like that. I have 6 class machines. If you don't want to bring your own machine, that's okay. You can use what I have in class. That'll be fine. And if you let me know in advance, I can have it set up when you come in. I hope this answers all of your questions about what you need for the fit class. And here's the one thing I want to say. Don't stress out about this. We have 3 hours to work on this and get this done. And what I want you to do is do it the way that you're the most comfortable with. Don't try to get ahead of yourself and try something different if that's not comfortable for you. If you have any questions from this presentation, you can always email me, Catherine@sewrite.com. That's CATHERINE @sewrite.com. And that's a presentation for today. Like I said, if you have any questions, please email me. If not, don't be nervous. We're going to get this done in class, and I look forward to seeing you then. Thank you. Bye.